So there's feedback and there's the group. So one thing I do not want you girls to do is compare yourselves to each other with what each other's lifting. Like, you won't go comparing yourself to freaking pro athletes. So why compare yourself to someone else in the game or someone else has been doing the sport, because you do not know their history of training. You do not know anything about them besides what you're seeing in front of you. And even so, there's also sometimes I could find myself comparing myself to what someone else is deadlifting, and then I'm like, what the hell? I'm like 50 whatever kilos I am, I don't know, but I usually compete in the 56s. I haven't stepped on the scales since my last comp because I'm doing deadlift only and I don't need to fit into a weight class for that. But it's like, I'm smaller than that person that's deadlifting. I'm comparing myself to someone who's 80 kilos deadlifting freaking 200 and something. Like, you don't ever, like, even if you are the same size, just do not compare yourself. That's the worst thing. That could lead to the whole self-sabotage cycle that I'm always on about. And all you need, like, just focus on being a better version of you, and never ever try to be someone else. Never ever, like, you can aspire to their work ethic, but try your best not to compare yourself in a way that's like, oh, I want to be like them, or I want to be as successful as them, because the most satisfying accomplishments and the most satisfying, like, progress comes from you actually being a better version of you, and realizing how much, this is my old phone and it shits me, and realizing how much you've actually changed and progressed and evolved through your whole transformation, which is why I always say it's a step-by-step journey. And it's if you are a competitor, it's the off-season that matters the most, because that is when you actually grow as a character, as a person, as a human. That is when life happens. And, like, I realized today when I was talking to someone, well, actually, no, I shared a quote to them, and then I'm like, you know what, this is so true, because no matter how, like, stressed out I get about something, like what happened with my phone, I wasted all that money on a phone and they can't fix it. Like, no matter how stressed I got over that, I was so freaking happy that day. Like, it did not make me go into some depressed loop or self-sabotage loop, because of everything that I've been through and all the work that I've put in over the past few years, and me trying to better myself, not continuously trying to chase someone else's expectation of what I should be, or this false image of perfection, because that is when we set ourselves up for failure, by comparing ourselves to someone else, because we're aligning ourselves with something that we're not right now, and we don't even know what happens in the background for them to be that person. You only know the person that you want to be, and what you think you need to do, or what you visualize that you need to do to become that person, which is the best that you can do. Just what? Okay, I'm gonna relate to one of my experiences. My squats, I got up to a stage where I was crying before I even started squatting, to the point where I would not even want to start a leg day because I had squats. And that's when I took back squats out of my program completely. And then I put them back in, built them up again. And the thing is, I was squatting like 100 whatever. This is ages ago. But it wasn't even a full squat. It was like a half squat. I don't even think it was a parallel squat. I think it was like, that's parallel. I think it was like a squat that was like there. It looked parallel because of how long my femurs are, but I wasn't. And then I stripped it all the way back, and then started back at like 20, 30, 40, 50. Built my squat all the way up to 90, but it was only to parallel, not below parallel. So then what I did was I stripped it all the way back down to 20 again. I did 20 kilos for a whole month, for 100 reps, 4 times a week. So I would do 5 sets of 20. I think that's what I was doing. I think it was 5 sets of 20. I would do 5 sets of 20 at 20 kilos, ass to grass, literally sitting on my calves just to get my form. And then I built it up from there. So don't be worried about having to put back weights to improve certain aspects, because in doing that, you're hitting muscles as well that you've never hit before. Like, I was sore dropping back all that weight because I was also hitting muscle fibers that I never hit before. Like, you're overloading a different portion of the lift. So you're not regressing, and it's not always, like, you don't go to the gym to burn calories. You go to the gym to be a better person, a better version of you, a stronger version of you, a more rounded, athletic, fitter version of you. And it doesn't just come in the form of adding weight to the bar. But the more that you compare yourself to others, the more teary you'll be and the less positive you'll be as a person. So that's something I just really want to relate to you guys and hope that that resonates. Now, back to check-ins. Mwah.